Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I miss seeing you guys in the hallways and being in your classrooms. So it is really nice when I get to see you guys on those class Zooms. Speaking of Zoom, that is what I'm doing right now. I am Zooming a video of me. This kind of sounds weird. I'm Zooming by myself. And the reason is that I want to go over a website with you. The month of May is Careers Month. Now, back in November, we talked about colleges. And we talked about different kind of degrees. You can get a 2-year associate, a 4 year a bachelor's, a master's degree is a couple more beyond the 4 years, a PhD is about 8 years in total. So today what I'm going to do is I am going to take you guys to one of my favorite websites that deals with careers. So what I'm going to try, this is all new for me, so if I mess up, I apologize. So just bear with me as I try to do this. So what I want you guys to do, you can do one of two things. You can go ahead and pull up your Internet Explorer or your Chrome, whatever you use, and you can do this along with me and pause the video as you need to, or you can just watch the video and then do it on your own after the video is over. So I'm just going to go through this, and then you can decide if you want to do it with me or if you want to do it after I am done. So the first thing we need to do is pull up our Internet Explorer or whatever your internet browser is. So I have Chrome. So what I want you to do is type in OOH, and you'll see up here it says Occupational Outlook Handbook. That is what we want to go to. And you'll come up again, Occupational Outlook Handbook. So what this is a website that's put out by our government. And what it tells you, the whole bunch of information about tons, thousands, and thousands of careers in the United States. It did not have every single job out there. I looked up YouTuber, it doesn't have YouTuber, and we'll get to YouTuber a little bit later. So this is the page you should be on. Okay, there are different ways to find a job, a career, an occupation. That's what occupation means, it's like a job. So you can look for them in different ways. One of them is on this side, is called occupation groups. So you have an idea of what kind of a job you might be interested in or jobs, then you can figure out which group it might fall under. Okay, so that's one way. Another way is you can look through the alphabet and click on the letter that it starts with. So it's down here with the A to Z index. You can also go to the top where it says Search Handbook, and there you go, Search Handbook, and you can type it in up there. So that if you know what job you're interested in. Now let's say you don't know what job you're interested in. What you can do then is you can look down here. Okay, so for instance, you say, what job can I get if I just graduate high school? You can look up here and it'll say high school diploma or equivalent, which means you just have a high school education. And then you can press go, and it will bring up different jobs that have where you just need a high school diploma. Okay, so that's one way. Now I'm going to go back to that page. Let's say I want a job that pays the median. Now, median pay, what they did is they took the lowest paid person in that job and they took the highest paid person in that job. And they found the job pay that's right in the middle between those two. That's what the median is. It's smack in the middle. So a half of the people in that job make more than that. The other half of the people make less than that. So that is what a median pay is. It is the middle. Okay, so let's say the middle wage is 60 to about 80,000. If I click on go, it will come up with different jobs that is the median wage, and that's right over here. Now, let's try something different. I want a job that maybe pay, let's see, I want a high school diploma, let's see, high school, and 60 to about 80,000 median. So if I click on that, it's going to put all the ones that have those two requirements on them. Okay, so you can see there are some that have those requirements. Now you will notice that a lot of them on this side, projected growth rate, and I'll explain that to you right now. It is what they predict will be like jobs opening kind of ideas, or if there'll be a lot of those positions in the future or not. You have decline, which means it's going down. As fast as average, which means it's just any other job. Faster than average means there'll be a lot more of those jobs opening, a lot more of those positions. Little or no change means it's going to stay where it is. Slower than average, a little bit slower than what most traditional jobs. Also, this set shows you projected number of new jobs. So how many openings do they see in the future? And on the job training, what do you have to do to get that job while you're on the site? So a lot of jobs that are like construction, a lot of our trade jobs require some on the job training or an apprenticeship. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to pick a job that I wanted to do when I was your age. If you don't know this about me, all I ever wanted to do since I was a little kid was to be a meteorologist, a weatherman. That's all I ever wanted to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type that in. Meteorologist. It's already in here because I've been looking it up, of course. So it's going to take me, when I do in the search, it's going to search everything that in this website that shows the word meteorologist. And you can see where meteorologist comes up in different places in this website. But what I am looking for is atmospheric scientists, including meteorologist. Okay, that's what I want because that's going to give me information about meteorology. So if you're doing this along with me, you can type up a career that you're interested in, and then you will get a page similar to this. So if you need to pause it while you're doing it, feel free to do that. So when you find a career on this website, what they do on the first page is a summary. So what that means is they give you a brief overview, a summary of all the information. So for meteorologists, it says the median pay. So remember, that is the middle between the highest paid and the lowest paid meteorologist. They're saying that middle number is $95,380 per year. That's a lot of money, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. That's a lot of money. However, I need to tell you this. The numbers they use are across the United States. This is not necessarily what you can expect if you want into a job, a meteorologist job, right out of college. First job, you will not expect to make that much, especially in South Dakota. A lot of jobs, the longer you're in that job, the more money you make. So some meteorologists have been working their job for, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 plus years. So they're going to make a lot more money than a new meteorologist that just got out of college. I don't know if you guys watch KOTA TV, but Mike Modrick has been on that station since I was about your age. So that is quite a long time. So somebody like Mike Modrick will make a lot more money than someone that just graduated from college. Now, the other thing is South Dakota tends to be very low pay across the board in different jobs. So when you see a job on a website like this, South Dakota tends to be on the lower half of the pay scale. So it also tells you typical entry-level education. So what kind of education you need at a minimum to get the job. Now, some jobs say you need a minimum of this kind of a degree, but a lot of times they prefer something else, maybe a more advanced degree. So be aware of that. It also talks about on-the-job training. Oh, I'm sorry, work experience in a related occupation. A lot of times they are interested. Have you had experience with something similar? On-the-job training. Have you been an intern, or have you worked for someone in that position? Have you been trained under some of them? Numbers of jobs in 2018, 10,000 positions. Okay, most of them will be filled probably. Job outlook. Now, this is from 2018 to 2028. Okay, so it's 8%, which is faster than the average. So that means there's going to have more opening, more availability in the future in those 10 years. Employment change from 2018 to 2020. That is 800. What that number means is they are predicting that there will be 800 new openings for a meteorologist, which is a really good number. Okay, so then what they do is they explain what the job is, work environment is, where they work at, how to become that job, pay, job outlook, which I kind of already talked to you guys about, state and area data. So that tells me like specific state, like South Dakota, or if you want, maybe you imagine yourself living in California, that would be something you could look up. Similar occupations, one of my favorite parts of this, because it gives you ideas of jobs that are similar to what you're interested in. Because sometimes people go down a certain path, it's like, oh, what's this? This is kind of cool too. It's always good to look around. And then this one is more information, including links to ONET. ONET is another occupation website as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the top here and go through all of these tabs so you know what they show. These are all the same thing that I just went as I scroll down. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you an idea of what information is available for you. So almost all of them have a video right here that you can watch that kind of does a quick overview of what that job is. And they're really short. They're like 2-3 minutes. So what they do, and again, this just gives you an idea of what that job is. Okay, I'm not going to go through everything with you guys, especially knowing that you guys are not interested in meteorology. So it just gives you an idea of some of that information. Work environment, where do they work at? A lot of times we think of meteorologists as being the people on the news, but they work in different places. They work for the government, they work at airports, different agencies. Some of them will even work for like groups of farmers and businesses. Oh, when should we plant the crops? Or when do we have the weather? It's going to be like, it's rain coming our way. You know, so there are different uses for meteorologists. And that kind of gives you an idea right here of different kind of employers or people who hire meteorologists. Okay, how to become one. I think this is really a good one. It breaks it down so you have an idea of what you need to do to become whatever occupation you are looking at. So what kind of education? It says here, typically need a bachelor's degree. Okay. They explain the kind of courses, but it says atmospheric scientists who work in research must have at least a master's degree, but will usually need a PhD in atmospheric science or related field. So I can get a 4-year degree. But if I want to do research, I must go at least another 2 years. And then they're saying probably need a total of about 8 years to get a PhD. Now, I happen to know that South Dakota School of Mines and Technology does have a PhD program in meteorology, and that's why I actually spent my first 2 years of college at South Dakota School of Mines, is because I wanted to be a meteorologist. And then they talk about qualities and skills that you need for that job. Some training down here. Pay, we kind of talked about a little bit already, so it gives you an idea. Remember, this is across the country, not just in South Dakota. Job outlook, what does it look like? What are the odds of me getting a job? Stuff like that can be found in here. So here's a good line. Prospective atmosphere scientists should expect continual competition. What that means, if I'm applying for a job as a meteorologist, I can expect a lot of people applying as well, because the number of graduates from meteorology programs, so those are those that have graduated from the college of those programs, they're expecting more of those people than there are job openings. So that would mean I would have a competition. Okay, so that is what this will tell you about. State and area data. Excuse me. So this will give you information about local areas or local, the state and stuff. I'm not going to click on that, but that just gives you an idea. Similar occupation, I've kind of touched on that a little bit, that these are different jobs that are similar or have something in common with whatever job you're looking up. So like a geoscientist is someone who studies the physical aspect of the earth. A hydrologist is one who studies the water in the earth. Okay, so that kind of gives you some ideas. Now, what is really cool, something I wish I had known when I was younger, but the internet wasn't really a big thing when I was your age. But one thing that I wish I had known when I was getting to know this website when I was high school, college, is this part called More Information. This will give you links to different organizations, groups that can help you with finding out more about whatever job you're interested in. So that is definitely something I would highly recommend that you check out. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the home page here. Okay, and that's that page where we started at. One thing I think I should point out to you is when you come back to this home page here, you will see right here is something called a featured occupation. And what that is, it's just a job that they're pointing out to you. It's a highlight, and it changes every time you come back to this page. So it's kind of really a cool thing. One other thing is you need to be aware of is the date. Okay, so right now the date is April 10th, which is very recent, right? I mean, it's within the last, what, month? Okay, some of these, as I was explaining this, in 2019, 2018, so some of them could be a little outdated. YouTuber. But before we get to YouTuber, there's one other thing I want to point out. Some of you might be thinking, oh, I want to be a doctor. So I'm going to look up what does doctor bring up here, okay? So doctor. There is no occupation just called doctor. If you're interested in something like doctor, it's a very broad category. So what you need to do then is kind of narrow down a little bit what do you want to be a doctor of? What do you want to do with that? So for instance, if I want to be a surgeon or a physician, a veterinarian, a chiropractor, whatever that may be, then you can click on that. An optometrist, somebody who works with eyes, a dentist, teeth doctor, okay? Another one that comes up a lot, like in this situation, is a scientist. And I have to move my, okay, I'm gonna go back. There you go. Another common one is a scientist. See, scientist. All right, and then let's, okay, that wasn't supposed to happen, was it? Let me go back. I think I clicked on the wrong button. All right, let's try that again. I'm gonna move me to this side. Whee. All right, scientist. Okay. So what it's going to do is search the website for scientist. And again, scientist is such a broad category, job title, that it's not going to be able to just give you a scientist, okay? So again, what do you want to be a scientist of? What do you want to study? Forensic, psychologist, computer science stuff, environmental science, agriculture and food scientist, political scientist, zoologist, wildlife biologist, chemist, material scientist. There's a lot of scientists out there, okay? Now, the other thing I want to make sure I do before I talk about YouTuber is, oops, okay, we'll go here. I'll show you what I did, okay? These are the groups. So let's, if I click on architecture and engineering, it's going to take all the jobs that they have that kind of fit in that category of that group, and then it will list them, and then you can just click on one. So let me see, a civil engineer, that's this one. Civil engineers design, build, and supervise infrastructure projects and systems. So they are the people who design, build, and watch the people that are building roads, buildings, the civic center, stuff like that. And so I'm gonna click on that. And there you go, you have that page as well. There's a video over here. What do they do? Okay, so let's go back to the home page here. And let's look up YouTuber. YouTuber. You'll see I've done it twice because I want to see if maybe the space might help. I got the same result either way. There you go. Nothing comes up. I know it's a bummer. But what does come up are different jobs that are similar or related to being a YouTuber, an actor, gaming, film, anything like with TV, movies, multimedia, those will kind of come up in place of YouTuber. So like I said in the beginning, not all jobs are on here, but a good majority of them are. Okay, so I hope you have a good grasp on this Occupational Outlook Handbook page, webpage. So what I am going to have you do as your assignment is you are to go on this page and come up with one job that you're interested in and look it up and find out something new about it. Okay, find something new about it. And if you want, you can have somebody, you can email me, or you can have one of the adults in your house, your family, email me. You can say, hey, this is what I found out about this job, Mr. Rapport. Thanks for sharing that, whatever it may be. So I hope you guys have fun with this website. Enjoy it. This is a really helpful website in my opinion. I hope you enjoy it.